Hey everyone, welcome back to Sgcarmart. So today we are here at One Holland Village at the Mini pop-up where Mini are launching their new family of cars. And there are two models being launched. So the Cooper as well as the Countryman. However, it's not just two models, right? They are launching a whole variety of models. So for the Cooper, right now today they are launching the S as well as the SE. Now for the Countryman, three variants are being launched. So the SE, the E as well as the JCW. So that's one petrol and two electrics, but eventually there will be 8 total variants being launched, right? So 4 for the Cooper and 4 for the Countryman. So you're gonna have 2 electrics and 2 petrols for the Cooper and 2 electrics and 2 petrols for the Countryman. So you are gonna be spoiled for choice. So let's quickly go take a look at 2 of these models. First up, let's talk about the new Countryman. So first thing to know, it's a much bigger car than before, and you know, it's an upsized car all around, right? So for example, your front grille, it's much bigger than before. But this car also fully embraces digitalization. So for example, your headlights, right? So you have these DRLs, and actually they can be customized based on your preferences. There are different lighting signatures available. Now this is the SE model, so this is an electric model, and one way to tell is by the door handle. So on the electric models, they are flush to the body, but not on the petrol models. Now let's talk about these tail lights. So interestingly, they can be customized. There are 3 different designs that you can select from inside the car, and you can see that the clusters, light up in different ways, and it's just a cool way to customize your Mini. Now, in terms of boot space, we have 505 litres, and that's quite sizable, right? And that's one of the benefits of the fact that the Countryman has grown quite a bit larger. Now, let's go check out the inside of the new Countryman. So, I actually drove this new Countryman a couple of months ago, and I was very charmed by the cabin. And now that I'm back in it, yes, I'm reminded as to how quirky and yet different this cabin is, right? So for example, you don't have an instrument cluster. What you have is a heads-up display, and it's actually colored, so that's cool, right? And of course, you have this new central infotainment screen. So it's circular like your classic Minis, but it's obviously upsized and made for the digital age. And there's tons of functionality in it. I love how it looks, right? I think it's quirky, it's a little fun, but it's still very functional. It's like any smartphone. And we also have to talk about the experience modes, right? So there are a whole bunch of experience modes. So let's say timeless, personal, balance, trail. Just gives you a whole ton of customization. And it's just a fun way of approaching the car, right? It feels lively, it feels vibrant, and I just think it's very, very charming. Now, in terms of equipment, we have Harman Kardon speakers, we have massage seats for the driver, we have this very nice weave material. I'm still very fascinated by it because it feels nice, it feels cool, but look at this pattern, right? So it blends from this blue into this beige, and actually then kind of nicely bleeds into the seats as well. So it makes for a very well executed, well thought out cabin, and I just find it very charming. It is a very lovely sort of uplifting space to be in. Now we also have to talk about the intelligent assistant, right? So he's called Spike, he's a little dog, and it's just really quite cute. So, hey Mini, take me to the nearest restaurant.
I have found these results. Which one would you like to select?
Now let's also quickly talk about space. So this new Countryman is a full-on compact crossover, so it's quite a lot bigger than before, right? So as you can see, I'm 1.7 tall, and we have tons of headroom, good amounts of legroom as well, and it's a generally comfortable space. You could easily fit 3 adults here, I think no problem at all. Now we also need to talk about some of the nice details, right? So we have these leather seats, but if you look closely, you can see that stitching is actually multicolored, right? So there's blue stitching, there's red stitching, there's also this little, pattern piping over here, and it just makes for a charming, personality-filled space. Now let's quickly run through some of the performance figures on the various Countryman variants. So the starting electric model, the Countryman E, that makes 150 kilowatts, 250 Newton meters of torque, and has a range of 462 km. This SE model has 230 kilowatts, 494 Newton meters of torque, and a range of 433 km. And if you want petrol power, you have the JCW. So that makes 296 brake horsepower and 400 Newton meters of torque. So that's a look at the Countryman. Now let's go check out the Cooper. Now we are in the Cooper S. So quickly with the performance, right? So this has a 2-litre engine, 201 brake horsepower, 300 Newton meters of torque, and those should be fairly familiar numbers because that's more or less your standard BMW 2-litre engine, right? So as far as how this feels, it feels like a Cooper 3-door. You know, it feels small, it feels compact, it feels nimble, and it's plenty quick if you put your foot down. So as far as that actual driving experience, I think it's quite familiar. However, as you can see around me, this is a very different kind of space. It's very digital forward, and that actually, I think, improves the driving experience. So for example, we now have navigation set up and you can see a ton of information, right? So obviously we have our head-up display, can show you which lane you're supposed to be, can show you a map, can show you a lot of information. But you also have this, right? So as you can see now, it has this split setup where you eventually have this augmented reality view where it will show you where you're supposed to turn, which direction you're supposed to turn, you know, it's a live view, and then you have your standard map view as well. So it just improves that overall usability and daily driving experience. Now overall, the driving experience is very pleasing, right? It is a very quirky, very fun space, and it still feels quite familiar as far as being a Cooper 3-door. So specifically, this is the Cooper S, so this is the petrol variant. However, there is also an electric version coming, right? So there's going to be two. At launch, there's going to be the SE, so that's going to be your higher performance one. So with the Cooper SE, you're going to get 160 kilowatts, 330 Newton meters of torque, and a drive range of up to about 400 km on a single charge. So you will recognize some of the familiar elements, right? We have the round headlights, you have the wheels that are pushed out to all four corners of the car, but some digital touches are new. So for example, we have all your sensors here, and we have a camera here on the front as well. And if we check out the back and the rear, the most distinct difference are the tail lights, right? So instead of your previous sort of rectangular shape, we have these very distinctly triangular shapes, and similar to the Countryman, you can customize the light signature as well. There are 3 different settings, but more specifically, this new shape actually accentuates the rear end of the car and actually makes it look quite a little bit wider. Now let's go check out the inside of the Cooper. Now inside the new Cooper, if it looks familiar with the Countryman, it's because it is. A lot of the elements are the same, right? We have the same round center infotainment display, we have your same head-up display, same steering wheel, even the same little tab here in the middle. A couple of things that are unique to the Cooper are, I think, these ambient lighting settings, right? So it actually changes with your experiencer. So for example, in the go-kart setting, you get this red pattern, and then, you know, different settings, you have different light colors, and it's a cheerful, fun space. You know, we have the same materials, but the design is a little bit different, a little bit simpler, but all in all, it's still a mini space. It feels full of personality, it feels cheerful, it feels happy, and you know, that's what you want your Mini to be. So yes, that's a very quick look at the new Mini family. There are 5 variants being offered at launch. You can see the respective pricings over here. And eventually there will be a total of 8 variants, right? So you are going to be spoiled for choice. So yes, obviously we're going to be reviewing these cars very soon, so stay tuned to those videos. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. Do remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And you can also hit the notification bell to be alerted of all our upcoming videos. And check us out on TikTok at Sgcarmart. So that's all I have for you today. I'll see you soon. Bye!